Greetings to all my friends out there on YouTube and Facebook, and who's ever viewing this live from wherever or viewing it after the fact, whenever or wherever. SaleenDriver again, coming to you with episode 27, I believe it is, Wednesday afternoon live with SaleenDriver. That's me. Or if you know me by my first name, Dane, then that's me too. So, nobody here yet. No, don't care about that. Coming to you today with a bit of a headache, but that's pretty much normal for me at this point. I seem to have one at least 4 days a week. So, Jim C just popped in. Colby Ellis just popped in. Jim, I don't think I recognize your screen name. Unless you've been here before under another screen name. So Jim C is a new screen name for me, so welcome. Hang on a minute. I'm trying to... Usually this thing pops up. Hang on just a minute. Well, usually this thing pops up with my video on the on YouTube. So Atypical Gump is here. Grocery shopping will be listening. Have thumbs up. Good. Thank you. I appreciate that. Good luck grocery shopping. Oh, okay. So you're Jim. You're part of the Random Rob crowd. That's always good. Hang on just a minute. Let me try something else. Yep. Oh, okay. Good. Good. Okay. I'm just doing a couple of things to make sure I can actually see the chat on my other screen. Since my microphone blocks the StreamYard comment thing, I pull it up on YouTube on my other screen so I can see the comments over to my left side and the camera's over here to my right. Ken is here checking in from Pittsburgh. Ken, you saw it, but about 15, 20 minutes ago, I saw a little blurb on the old phone here that the Pittsburgh, Tennessee game was canceled because of the Wuhan Red Death. So I'm sorry about that. It looks like even the kneelers in the No Fun League aren't immune to the disease that was created by their masters in China. So sorry about that. You're gonna have to find something else to watch, I guess, this weekend. Pity. Big Lee's here. How you doing, man? Appreciate you stopping by. Watching the Braves game. No, Colby. Well, I'm not. I'm doing this because this is infinitely more entertaining to me than baseball, which is not entertaining at all. And, of course, with all the kneeling and the virtue signaling, all the other garbage that's going on in pro sports, it's pretty much not worth my time anymore, but that's just me. But First things first, congratulations to the Tampa Bay Lightning, who are not my hockey team. My hockey team has been, is, and always will be the Boston Bruins. Having been born in Boston and grew up watching the Bruins, and some of the earliest childhood memories I have are watching the hockey games on TV with my dad and his dad, my papa. And even going to a couple of Bruins games down at the old Boston Garden. Not too many because, my dad worked a lot as a doctor, but when he could, he did make it a point to take me to a hockey game. But I live near Tampa, and Tampa TV market is my market too. So I'm very happy for the Lightning to win the cup. I mean, they knocked my Bruins out, so my Bruins don't have any goaltending, and they're getting a little old. So it's time for big decisions for Boston. But I was very happy for the Lightning to have won the cup. Certainly good for the franchise. It's good for the city of Tampa, and you know, anyone who can spend 2 months in the bubble that was the NHL end of regular season and playoff qualification and playoffs, and stuck it out for 2 months to win the Stanley Cup, which is the hardest professional championship to win in all of sports. I don't care what people say about the World Cup and that, that genre of so-called sports, and the NBA National Bitches Association. Their championship isn't that hard. Hockey, the winning the Stanley Cup is hard, folks. Mainly because you have to win 16 games in best of 7 series, 3 or 4 of them to win it. But you have to win it in the most physical sport contest that there is, which is professional hockey. Since you can't hit anymore in the no fun league, and you can still hit a bit in the NHL, the Stanley Cup is the toughest professional championship to win, and there's no argument there. So congratulations to the Lightning for winning that. Good job. And I certainly hope Steven Stamkos' name goes on the cup. He certainly deserves it. As a gutsy it may have only been a couple of minutes of total ice time in one game, but coming back from an injury like that, to gut it out, no pun intended, his name deserves to be on the cup. Let's see who popped in. Ken is telling me that the Tennessee players had the beer flu. Game is going to be moved to Monday or Tuesday. Oh, okay. I'm not watching. they can move it to next year for all I care. Oh, Jim C's a Bruins fan. Okay, good. Well, and you know as I do that we need to retool that team from the red line back. Maybe not so much the forwards, although a couple of them are getting a bit long in the tooth. But certainly the defense and especially the goaltending. The goaltending is worthless. I say get rid of both goaltenders and start over. Even if it's a year of pain in 2021, it's better than watching Rask and that other hacker, whatever his name is, letting in soft goal after soft goal. I mean, Rask is a never was. He's not a has been. He's a never was. There's no way the Bruins will ever win a Stanley Cup with Rask between the pipes. And there's this guy on Facebook. He runs a Facebook group called Big Bad Bruins, and he's a Rask nut hugger. As far as I'm concerned, after reading his post, Rask is perfection personified, and you can't tell him any different. So, I'm done with that group pretty much, other than to troll him at this point. I mean, the only reason that group is any good is I go on there and I troll the fuck out of him, because he's worthless as a Rask nut hugger, and I just don't see it. The man gives up soft goal after soft goal. He showed it in the playoffs. I mean, the way the Bruins went out 4-1 against the Lightning without Stamkos, without a couple of their other frontline guys. Come on. Should at least made it competitive. It wasn't even competitive. So Rask, as far as I'm concerned, I hope your days wearing a Bruins uniform is over, but it won't be because I love Cam Neely to death. I loved him as a player. I love him as GM, as president of the hockey organization. I think he has a mind for the game like no other. But his weakness is he just won't get rid of some players, and I just don't get it. Rask needs to go. We need to develop a goaltender. We had one. He's now playing for the Dallas Stars, Hudobin. We had him. Why didn't you develop him? No, you traded him. You traded Lucic. You traded Boychuk. You gutted our big guys. You traded away. You traded away a good goaltender, and now you got Halak, who's serviceable, I guess, and Rask, who's hopeless. I don't get it. I'm curious to see what Boston's going to do for 2021. But if Rask is between the pipes, I have no hope. Oh, Tennessee Mike is here. I'm sorry, I didn't see you come in. You look like you've been there for a little while. I appreciate you stopping by. And Jim agrees with me. He's no fan of Rask. That's good. No, Colby, I haven't watched the movie yet. I am going to make a point of watching it this week. I'm going to try. This weekend, I had my younger daughter came down for Yom Kippur, which is the holiest of Jewish holidays. And she also came down because she wanted me to take her down to Fort Myers, Florida, where Florida Gulf Coast University is. And she wanted me to tour the campus, and she wanted to tour another campus too. So I was busy with her for most of no. It's okay, Colby. I keep forgetting some of these things. I do need to watch it because I would be interested in hearing about the story from Michael Waltrip's perspective, since he did write that book. I would like to see the story, because while I was not a fan of Earnhardt, I admit that up front, I was not an Earnhardt fan. I did love the no nonsense, I don't give a shit approach to the sport that Earnhardt had. That's one of the reasons I'm a big fan of Kyle Busch. Since 2007, I've been a Kyle Busch fan because Kyle Busch epitomizes to me what a NASCAR driver should be. He's brash, he's bold, he's a no fucks given driver, and he is a wheel man. He's not doing great this year, obviously. He's winless in Cup. He has a couple wins. He has wins in Truck, and I think in Xfinity he won one. So he's got wins in 2020. He doesn't have wins in Cup, although the season's still going. I mean, he made the playoffs. He's still in it, and he says he's in it to win it, so we'll see. But this is the reason I like Kyle Busch, is because of his attitude, and that's one reason I'm interested in seeing the movie. Colby, Michael Waltrip was always a good guy. He's always an emotional guy, heart on his sleeve kind of guy. I like Michael Waltrip because I think he's funny. I think he's actually funnier as a commentator. And I remember I know he's not doing it this year because of the whole Wuhan Red Death thing, but I loved his grid walks that he was doing. The funniest one was where he dumped that taco onto the back window of Denny Hamlin's car before a race. I thought that was hysterical. He said, "Can I get a ride after the race?" And somebody in the booth said, "I don't think you're getting a ride after the race, not from Denny." So he was always clowning with Danica too, which I thought was kind of funny. So yeah, but Michael Waltrip is a great guy. He's a better guy than his brother. His brother was a good guy in the booth, but out on the racetrack, he was just an asshole. But I suppose if you're going to be a successful race car driver, you have to be somewhat of an asshole too. So Razorback fan number one is here. Razorback, that is the first thing I think you've said that I agree with. Florida will beat Georgia by 2 touchdowns. I don't know. I think Florida will beat Georgia based on what I've seen in one game, unless Georgia works out the bugs in their in their uh, in their system real quick. They don't have they got a quarterback problem. They're all over the place with a quarterback, and I agree with Uncle Lou, my friend Uncle Lou. Stetson Bennett is not the answer. He's certainly not the long-term answer, but he did play a hell of a lot better than what's his name, Deshaun, Daquan, the whatever. Yeah, he's right. He looked like he was completely unprepared to play. The first guy, Deshaun, whatever his name is. Somebody help me out. What was his name? But Stetson Bennett's not the answer. I mean, Stetson Bennett did okay against an Arkansas defense. He's not going to do well against an Alabama defense. Or if our defense gets organized, and I think they will, a Florida defense or an Auburn defense. Auburn's going to give them problems. I think Georgia will still beat Auburn, but Auburn will give them problems. But Georgia better work their stuff out real quick. Florida's got their own things to work out because, their running game is still a little weak. Although I saw highlights of the game. I was not watching the game, unfortunately, because I was with my daughter out of town. I was not able to watch the game. But the highlights I saw, Florida definitely has improved their offensive line and improved their running game to a degree. But there's more work to be done. And the defense, it was down on personnel, but there's more work to be done there too. So I'm interested in seeing what they do against the Boom Chickens. I hope they bury Moose Dump under the swamp on Saturday. I think they will. But I need to see more improvement out of Florida before I have more confidence. It was nice to see Kadarius Toney being used as a wide receiver instead of a gimmick Percy Harvin kind of guy. Toney is probably going to be better as a pure wide receiver with the occasional gimmick play rather than a gimmick player with the occasional wide receiver play. I think Kadarius Toney gives Florida a whole nother level of weapon. And let's talk about Kyle Pitts for a minute. He is going to make defenses across the SEC crazy. I mean, eventually, as you get later into the season, there's going to be some work done to deal with him because they'll have film on him. But Pitts is a beast. And I'm glad he came back for this year. He is going to give defenses fits. And how do you cover a guy with that level of speed, power, and size? You're going to cover him with a corner? No. You're going to cover him with a safety? Safeties are usually smaller. Linebacker? No, linebacker is about his size, but linebacker's 3 steps too slow for him. So that's going to be an interesting matchup going forward for a lot of teams. I see a lot of good in Florida this year. They got to get past that Georgia hurdle. We have been able to do it for 3 years. And that was with a shit quarterback that they had. Well, I engage in a little bit of hyperbole. I mean, Fromm wasn't shit. He wasn't a world stopper, but we got to get past Georgia. I ain't even going to worry about the SEC championship right now. I'm worried about Georgia. That's the first. I'm actually worried about LSU. I don't care what they look like against Mississippi State. I'm worried about what LSU is going to do when they come into the swamp because they're a tough team no matter what. Let's see. Where are we? Shree's here. Yeah, I saw you come in a few minutes ago. How you doing, sir? How's things over in the UK? I think you're the guy who's from the UK, right? Hope things are going good over there. Yeah, Florida's offense is stacked, Razorback fan, but just they got to prove it on the field. What's on the wrist today? Wants to know Tennessee Mike. Today is, well, you remember, Mike, I'm doing that challenge that Random Rob gave me of a different Zelos every day. Today's the last day, so I saved one of my best Zelos for last. This is the Zelos ZX Spitfire. That's not its official title. It's just it's a Zelos Custom ZX. This is the one I had that Elshin made for me with the watch face metal is the metal from a World War II Supermarine Spitfire fighter aircraft. One of one. There will not be another. Unique color combination with the red subdials around the chronograph function and the gold tone subdial around the second hand, which matches the indices. So this is, I guess you'd call it a prototype that Elshin wore for a little while, and then I got the opportunity to buy it. So we basically rebuilt the watch to ZX specification, current specification, and then sold it to me. And I figured today's the last day of that challenge, so I figured I would wear one of my best Zelos for last. Now, I enjoyed that different Zelos everyday challenge that Rob put on me. I actually was able to do it only having to borrow one watch from my father, because I didn't have enough to, when I started the month, I didn't have enough to do all 30 days, but I actually acquired a couple of Zelos watches during the month of September that I was able to wear. And I only ended up borrowing one watch. So I really enjoyed it because I got to wear all of my Zelos watches. Some of them I hadn't worn for a long time. And I really enjoyed all the watches. But I'm also going to enjoy starting to wear my other watches that I haven't worn for a month because challenge, But I think Rob and I were the only men left standing on the September challenge. Everyone else was doing one watch for the entire month. I think pretty much everyone crapped out on that except for Rob. And I met the challenge. So, maybe Rob will give me a prize. I don't know. Maybe I got a coffee cup. Except I don't drink coffee. Whatever. But I love this watch. This watch is great. It's very comfortable too. Where are we? Yep, I agree, Razorback fan. Kadarius Toney is a legit wide receiver now, not a gimmick player. And I think that's the way it should have been all along. But, Mullen wanted to try to recreate Percy Harvin. I mean, Toney did that pretty well. I mean, he was a good gimmick player, but I think he's a better wide receiver. Why not use him as a wide receiver and give the opposing defenses another weapon to worry about instead of worrying about whether or not Toney's going to wildcat or run an end around or a bubble screen? Send him out on the pattern. Throw him 20, 30 yards downfield. God knows Trask has enough arm strength to get the ball down far. Let Trask put a few up deep and let Toney run underneath him. Shri says it's good over there, very rainy. It's been very rainy here the past couple of days, but today it actually in Florida where I am, it's actually cool out. I mean, hang on, I'll tell you. I mean, it's sort of a hint of fall for Florida. I mean, 74 degrees. Yeah, that's usually our low in the summertime is the upper 70s, mid to upper 70s. Today, that's going to probably be our high today. It was actually like 65 degrees this morning, Fahrenheit. I actually took the Saleen out today. My supercharged Saleen loves cool weather, and I hadn't had her out in a few days. I've been trying to test her. I just recently had a repair done on her, and I have to test the repair to make sure it's solid, and it seems to be. And she seems to be more responsive now. So keep testing. Pissing off Prius drivers too. That's always good. My friend Jason's here. How are you, sir? He's down south of me, so he's probably still pretty warm down there. Pepperex, how you doing? Jason, you broke that challenge like 3 days ago. It's hard. I mean, that was a tough challenge, believe it or not. I mean, think about it. You have to wear the same watch every day for a month. And if you have multiple watches like Jason does, or like I do, or like Tennessee Mike does, or even a non-collector, or maybe have like 2 or 3 watches, maybe 5. You have to wear the same one every day. I mean, that's like eating the same meal for dinner every day. I mean, for a while it's okay, but after a while you get sick of it. Or maybe not even a meal, maybe just, dessert, same dessert every day, if you're a dessert guy. So I don't doubt that a lot of people just, stuck with it for a week, maybe 2 weeks, and then said, the hell with it. I was lucky. My challenge, I mean, I think Rob was being half serious when he made the challenge because I have so many Zelos. But I was lucky in my challenge. I had a different watch every day, but it's just from the same brand. But I don't think I certainly know I could not do the same watch every day. I mean, I change watches 2 or 3 times a day. That's the way I want to do it. I got that from my father. He changes his watches 3 times a day. He has a morning watch, an afternoon watch, and an evening watch. And he rotates the morning and the afternoon watches, but the evening watch is always the same one. So he doesn't wear the same watch every day. I'd say he changes every week, the rotation part, but he at least changes the watches every day. Where are we? Ken says, green dial 38 millimeter Islander today, honeymoon ending, teal dial Mako 3 honeymoon starts tonight. You're going to love that teal Mako. That is a great watch. Let's see. Well, Shri, if I guess that question is to me, if I had to wear the same watch for a month, day in, day out, I could not vary. Geez, I have to think about that for a minute. Wow. You know what? I think my answer will surprise you. I think if I had to wear the same watch day in and day out for an entire month, it would be my Breitling Navitimer Twin 60. Yeah, that one. Because it's one of my best looking watches. It's one of my 2 Grail watches that I own. It's comfortable, it's gorgeous. It's blue. I love blue. I would say my Navitimer. Absolutely, yeah. That if I had to wear the same watch for a month, that would be the watch. Because it's very comfortable, it's beautiful to look at, it's dead nuts reliable. So I would go with my Navitimer. Jason said it's still warm down there. Yeah, well, I don't know if it even cools off down where you are, Jason, but I hope the humidity breaks up a little for you. Let's see. Tennessee Mike says he wore his Bling Master every day but wore others. Okay, well then you cheated. Bling Master, for those of you who don't know, is a nickname that a lot of us gave to a G-Shock square that was done entirely in metal, in gold plate metal. The case was gold plate metal. The bracelet, everything was gold-plated metal. There was also a chrome one as well, Bowling Master Junior, I guess you could call it. But the gold one was that one's a little much for me. I mean, I only own right now. I literally just barely got into. I found a G-Shock only a couple of weeks ago that I liked, and that was what's known as the G-Shock Tron. And the reason it's called the Tron is because it has a laser etched grid pattern that looks like the scenery from the movie Tron. It's the only one I like. And I got loaned one by Random Rob, another YouTuber, big YouTube watch channel, Random Rob. I liked it so much, I sent that one back to him and I bought my own. So I have one G-Shock Square, but I can't leap to the Bling Master. It's just, it's too blingy, quite honestly. I mean, that's too much yellow gold color for me. Floridian's here. What's up? Not much. How are you, sir? Let's see. Peprex says he's good. Recently went with a Tudor Black Bay 58. He says it's amazing. It suits him perfectly. Also got the new Zelos bracelet with clasp for my teal Mako. Yeah, I really think the Mako, most Zelos watches do better for me on bracelets. I'm looking now. I know Zelos. This only really applies if you have a bronze, any bronze Zelos. Zelos will be coming out, I believe, in October or maybe early November with a bronze bracelet. It's bronze on top, on top here, but underneath it's stainless steel, so you can still wear it. But there'll be bronze bracelets for the bronze watch cases. I'm going to be buying a bunch of those because I really prefer bracelets to straps on the Zelos watches. So looking forward to that. But I think you're going to like that bracelet on the Mako. I think that it'll make it look a lot better, more purposeful. Jason says, what broke me, I assume that's referring to the challenge, is the fact that I had a new watch coming and I had to review it. I have to wear it to review it. Yeah. I've got a watch sitting over there in the watch room, that I got in for review a week ago. I have not worn the watch because of the challenge. I've been sitting on it. I have to wear it. I have to review it, and then I have to send it on to the next guy. Luckily, nobody's pressing to do it, but it's the first NTH that I've ever experienced, and what little I've experienced of it's really a nice watch. I'm really looking forward to wearing it for a couple of days and then doing a review. But I'm behind in my reviews because of the challenge too. Luckily, I have enough videos stacked up to last me through at least the end of October. Plus, I have a few video ideas, and I think a driving video or two will be coming soon now that the weather is starting to cool off a little bit, and that makes the Saleen happier, driving around, and gives it a little bit more horsepower. Cold weather is like amphetamines to a supercharger. Gator Zone is here. How you doing, sir? Thank you, Shri. I appreciate it. I love this watch. And the fact that it's a one of one and there won't be another makes it even more special. Elshin has been very good to me over the few years I've been a Zelos customer, and I appreciate Elshin and what he's done for me and what he's done for my father. Really appreciate it, and shout out to Elshin, as I always do, because he's doing it right. I mean, not only great designs and great quality builds, but the customer service is second to none. I don't get this. I mean, there are companies producing 5- and 6-figure watches out there that don't give the level of service that Elshin is giving. Trust me on this. Big 12, yep, you made it. Good job. Peperick says he prefers bracelets in general. Yeah, I did see that there are new Horizons coming out. I'm not sure if I'm going to be a customer for that. Um, I've been spending a lot of money on watches lately. I think I need to pull back a little bit. I may even need to sell some watches. I think it's about time that a few of these watches move on to new homes. I've got some goodies that I really have enjoyed saying that I own them, but I don't wear them. So just being able to say I own watch X or watch Y or watch Z is wonderful. It's ego stroking and all that, but it doesn't do me any good if they just sit in the box and do nothing. So I think they're going to go on to other homes, and I'm going to pocket the money and use it for other things. Tennessee Mike, I got a Devil Ray, an NTH Devil Ray. Um, Really nice looking watch. Looking forward to wearing it. No school today. Okay, well, Big 12. Florida doesn't play Mississippi State, so yeah. Okay. Are you drinking again? Just a question. Just asking for a friend. Um, yeah. Was it you that said Florida would lose to Old Piss? Yeah, I think you owe me an apology, sir. I think you owe Gator Nation an apology. I think a lot of people owe Gator Nation an apology. They said that Old Piss was going to run us out of the stadium. And no, they didn't. That was what 16-point win. If I did the math right, 16-point win is not running you out of the stadium. Florida covered, by the way. Weren't they favored by 14? So they covered. Alabama didn't cover. Just saying. Well, okay, Colby. When I put them up for sale, you better jump on one. I have one in mind that's going up for sale, but the watch was, I mean, I like this watch. I was glad to acquire it, but, and it's a nice watch, but it was running, it actually is in the shop right now being adjusted because it was running about a minute and a half, 2 minutes per day slow. I'm not going to sell a watch in that condition, so I have to, it's in the shop getting adjusted. I suppose I could have tried to do it myself, but I don't want to. But that watch will probably go up for sale. I may make a for sale video a la Random Rob's Sunday Fun Day type video. I think I will probably do that because I have multiple watches that I would like to let go. So I think a video of that might be forthcoming. I don't know. I'll make that decision after I get all my watch. I've got two watches out for repair right now. When those come back to me, then I'll start making decisions on if I'm going to sell something and how I'll do that. Let's see. No, Big 12, we haven't made it through tropical season yet. Tropical season doesn't officially end until the end of November. We've gotten through the peak, but we still have October and November. And by the way, the water in the Gulf of Mexico is still warm. And in October and November, tropical systems usually develop in the Gulf of Mexico now, not the Atlantic. The Atlantic's cooled off. So I think the Atlantic season's done, but the Caribbean Sea and the Gulf of Mexico are still warm enough that they could develop something. In fact, bear with me. And where is that? Get the National Hurricane Center app. 5-day forecast shows that somewhere, whoops, dang it, sorry. Somewhere in the next 5 days, 3 to 5 days, that system is going to develop in the Caribbean and move into the Gulf. So it ain't over yet. Now that, it's saying It's a 60% chance, but they are saying that environmental conditions are conducive for some development. Tropical depression could form over the weekend. So we ain't done yet. We're close, but we ain't done yet. Been a very active season, in case you haven't noticed. I mean, we've gone into the Greek alphabet. We've run out of names. We've gone through alpha and beta, and the next one I believe is gamma. I'm not sure, but we've gone through all the way through A through W plus 2. So it's been a very active season. So it ain't done yet. Let's see. No Big 12. We didn't. The wide receivers, there were 3 of them. They only sat one practice. And I don't know the reason yet. I didn't really bother to look. Somebody knows why, let me know. But they sat, but I don't know why. But they're all playing. Florida hasn't lost any players, as far as I know, opting out. Everyone opted in, as far as I know. Now, I know the defense, when we were playing Old Piss, there were 4 players out, plus we lost one of the starters in the first series. So the defense was down on personnel in that game. So but if I'm wrong there, somebody correct me. But I was led to believe that they were down on people for that game. Let's see, where are we? Let's see. Gator Zone said it was Florida. Okay. Thank you for that. Let's see. Big 12 says the Candy Canes are not better than us, meaning Texas. Really? Oh, well, I don't know. I'm not really paying attention to Texas very much. So I don't know how good or bad Texas is. I'm not really paying attention to them. But Miami looks like they have life. Now let's see what they do against Clemson. Clemson's going to be the test for them to see how far they progressed or have not progressed. But the only thing that I care about in the ACC is how badly Florida State does. As far as I'm concerned, if Florida State goes 0-10 or 0-11 or whatever their number of games are, I'm happy with that. But I see a sub-500 season for the Criminals this year, and that nothing makes me happier. The only thing that would make me happier is Florida get to the SEC title game, which is possible. I'm not saying it will happen. I'm saying it's possible. Let's see. Big 12 says NFL sucks. A bunch of punks. I agree with that. Jason's back. Where'd you go? Let's see. Big 12 thanking somebody. Close. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Slim Mosley is here. What's up, my good friend, sir? Good to see you here. Appreciate it. I thank you guys real quick. I thank you guys for all the thumbs ups. I appreciate that. If you haven't done so, appreciate it if you do click the thumbs up at some point during your being here. I will also point out, although obviously no obligation on anyone's part to do so, if you want to help out the channel, the super chat function is available. I've also left a link in the description to PayPal if you want to take the extra step for that. Again, no obligation to do so, but it is available to you. I just recently broke 1,600 subscribers, so that's pretty good. Seemed to take forever to get there. I don't know. I don't understand what was going on. I'd get to like 1,570, 1,580, and then I would drop back for some reason, and then I'd go up again. I'd drop back, up, back, and then all of a sudden I just start going up again. I wonder if it's because I haven't put out a rant video in a little while. Maybe the rant videos tick people off. I don't know. I like doing the rant videos. It's something different. I have a few more ideas for that, but I've always got something to rant about, don't I? I could do an hour right now on a recent watch purchase I did that originated in the UK and turned into a fiasco, all because of the eBay global shipping program. But I won't bother you guys with that now. Just suffice to say that the global shipping program has designed itself very, very carefully so as to make talking to somebody in that program. Let me put it this way. I would have better luck calling the White House and making an appointment for a one-on-one lunch with Donald Trump than I would to be able to get a hold of somebody in the global shipping program. I'd have a better chance of getting a date with fill in the name of your favorite female Hollywood star than I would being able to get a hold of somebody at the global shipping program. It's impossible. Their phone numbers and emails and everything are more tightly guarded secrets than the nuclear codes to launch the missiles. I'm convinced of this. I mean, obviously eBay doesn't give a shit about their customers at this point anymore. They've gotten too big to give a damn at some point, and I understand that. I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, at least give us a shot. I mean, give us a phone number that rings to voicemail 99.9997% of the time. Give us a shot, guys. Don't make it impossible, make it improbable. But that's just me. What do I know? Yeah, it is a big store, Jason, and it's a big store, and they don't give a shit. They don't. And they've proven it time and time again. That's why I don't sell on eBay anymore. I don't. I will not sell anything on eBay anymore because eBay takes 10% of whatever you make, and then PayPal takes another 4%. You start out with $100 sale, and you end up with $86. That's robbery. That's theft. So when I sell something, I sell it in any way I can besides eBay. The only advantage eBay has is they give you a global audience. I'd rather it take a month to sell something and I don't have to pay their exorbitant fees than sell something within a week and lose 14 or 15% of my sale to nothing. I mean, I wrote the description on the listing. I took the photos. I created the title. I created the search words. I. You did nothing. You provided a platform. I did all the work. You did no work, eBay, PayPal. You did nothing except be there. That's not enough to take 15% of my money. Hell, the government gives me a better deal than that on my taxes. So, screw you, eBay. I'll buy stuff, but I ain't selling stuff. And this whole global shipping program fiasco has convinced me that when I do buy internationally going forward, I'm going to talk to the seller and I'm going to say, look, I don't want to wait a month and not be able to track anything. I will spend the money if you ship it FedEx or UPS. FedEx, I buy Zelos watches. The only way you can buy Zelos watches new, for the most part, is directly from Zelos in Singapore. Now, Singapore is over here. Florida is over here. Across the entire Pacific Ocean, across the entire United States. And I get it in 3 days, 3 business days. If it, over the weekend, not much happens. 3 days, FedEx International. I'll pay for that. I don't have to wait. So if it's $100 to ship something, FedEx International Express, I'll pay the extra $100 just so I don't have the aggravation of going through that insanity ever again. But again, that's just me. What do I know? Fix that. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Gator Zones telling me that Florida was out Brad Stewart. Shocker. Well, I don't know why that's a shocker, but okay. Cree Campbell and Houston. Okay, so they were down 3 players. Okay. Jason says I got to do some auditor questions. Auditor? What kind of audit, Jason? Thank you for the congrats, sir. I appreciate that. Big 12, yeah. Lou basically called me a Karen too. He's been sending me. By the way, Lou has been sending me pictures because he did some screenshots of Florida and Old Piss players kneeling before the game on Saturday, and because of my attitude towards the kneelers, he says I can never watch a Florida game again, and that he'll take it upon himself to keep me updated on the Florida games going forward. And he's calling me a NFL Karen too. So, okay, that's fine. I mean, he wants to call me a Karen because I choose not to support anti-American and anti-cop and anti-military and anti-flag whining bitches making millions of dollars playing kids games and calling themselves slaves and calling themselves oppressed. And they have their opinions. They're permitted their opinions, and I'm not permitted mine. Is that the way this works, sir? Because I don't roll that way. If you choose to support, I'm not just talking to Lou or BVD or anybody in the comment section. I'm talking in general. If you choose to support people who show that level of arrogance and contempt for the country that gave them the opportunity to be undereducated and be millionaires, that's fine. God bless you. Lazim laden. Have fun with that. I choose to express my opinion that behavior is reprehensible and I will not support it. Now, there are other reasons that I don't watch the National Felons League other than the kneeling and the disrespect and the arrogance and the acidity and the asinineness. There are other reasons besides the kneeling. So, but every time I mention that, I'm ignored. So if people want to call me an anti-NFL Karen, that's fine. That doesn't bother me. I don't miss the NFL. I haven't missed it for 6 years, and I won't miss it going forward. And I haven't watched the National Bitches Association since Bird and Magic retired. And I've never been a fan of baseball anyway, so I don't, I can't miss what I don't watch or never watched. And NASCAR was on the verge, but they seem to have pulled it back a little bit. So I'll give them a temporary pass unless they go full idiot again. NHL seems to be okay. If college football hopefully doesn't get too idiotic. Anyway, Gator Zone, why are you mad? I don't know. Tell us why you're mad. Well, if you don't have any Coke in the fridge, Big 12, go buy some. Neo's here. How you doing, sir? Let's see. Rob F is here. Rob, what's wrong with USPS? Man, don't get me started. Please. I tell you what, Rob, I did a rant video. I forgot which number it was. I think it might have been 5 or 6. I would watch that It might have been number 7. It's either 5, 6, or 7. Go watch that one. You'll see what I'm talking about. But in a nutshell, I mean, it's obvious that the USPS is a government-run entity, because nobody could be that inefficient, that incompetent, that worthless, and be a privately run company. I'll give you one example. I'll give you a freebie. I ordered a speaker grill cover for a speaker in one of my cars, a subwoofer, 8-inch speaker grill that fits over the cone to protect it. It originated in Gainesville, Florida, which is about 200 miles from my house. It takes, without me pushing my luck, 2.5 hours to drive that distance. Normal a priority mail, which is the way it was shipped. I know because it arrived in a priority mail box. 2 days. How long do you think it took for it to get from Gainesville, Florida to Sarasota, Florida? 10 days. 10 days. 10. It went from Gainesville, Florida to Ocala. I'm not making this up. It went from Gainesville to Ocala to Jacksonville to Ocala to Opelika, which is down by Miami or something, to Fort Myers, to Naples, back to Fort Myers, all the way past me to Tampa, and then to Sarasota, where I am. 10 days to do a 200-mile trip that I could do in 2.5 hours. Normal driving, 70, 75 miles an hour, not even pushing. You have to be idiot level 1 million incompetent to do something like that to a 1-pound package that has to go 200 miles. And so that's a freebie. That's what's wrong with the United States Postal Service. And when I complained, nothing happened. Nothing. If that were a private sector entity, that somebody would have been fired over that one. You can't fire a postal worker unless they commit murder on video, high noon in the public square. And it would probably have to be a child murder. Other than that, their jobs are ironclad. So let's see, where am I? Let's see. Patience is a virtue. Yes, that's true, Gator Zone. Unfortunately, I have no patience. Jason wants to know, do your videos voice over low? No, not to me. I mean, they could probably be a touch louder on the voiceover, but I think they sound fine to me. They sound fine to me. Maybe not so much. Maybe not adjusting your voice level. Maybe bring the background music down a notch or two. But I've never had a problem understanding you or hearing your voiceover or your descriptions. But maybe bring the background volume down a bit if that's possible, if you can adjust tracks individually. If you can only bring the voice level up, don't bring it up much. Rob F. Says, big game this weekend, Auburn versus Georgia. Game will be a measuring stick. Let's see what Georgia's offense can do with I'm not convinced JT Daniels is going to start. But I tell you, if JT Daniels turns out to be another Jake Fromm, our good friend Uncle Lou is going to have an aneurysm. I mean, you'll probably literally see the blood vessel pop out of his head if it turns out that JT Daniels is just another reincarnation of Fromm. I think you're probably going to see that other guy, the guy who started the Arkansas game. What's his name? DeQuan or Deshaun? I forgot his name already. Jesus. And I bet you'll see Stetson Bennett again. Let's see. Ken Spears says, ordered both my Islander and Zelos on a Friday, received the Islander on Wednesday, and a Zelos on Friday, expected to take longer coming from China. Yeah, well, actually the Zelos came from Singapore, or it should have come from Singapore, but Singapore, China, it's, relatively the same region of the world. But yeah, Zelos does it right. Even they try and do it right even after the watch leaves the building. They make sure they try and do it right with organizations that they can trust. Either, for the most part, FedEx. It's occasionally DHL, but for the most part, FedEx. And that's just, to me, another sign of excellent customer service on the part of Zelos, making sure that it gets done right even after the box leaves the shop. Gator Zone says, I don't mind the kneeling. Like you said, freedom of expression. I do get annoyed by how thrown in your face it is, but you respect my opinion. Thank you. I appreciate that. Gator Zone also says USPS is a government at its finest. Imagine people actually want the government to do more. Yeah, well, if the government can't make sure that a package gets from point A to point B in a timely manner, how are they going to make sure that that an organ transplant does well? Or will they just give you the pill and tell you to go sit in the corner until you die? Just saying. Maybe you people who think the government is the be-all and end-all to all our problems might want to rethink that a little bit. Particularly, you'll have time to think about that while you're standing in line at the DMV. That's government in action. If you want to see government healthcare in action, go talk to a guy who has to deal with the VA. But I digress. Don't want to talk politics too much in here, do I? I'll start losing subscribers. Gator Zone again. The shipping logistics is big boy stuff. Imagine some of these people in a respectable profession. I can't imagine them in a respectable profession. They'd have to actually dress the part. Have you ever walked into a post office annex? Not the regular post office, but where, let's say you're getting a package and you had to sign for it, but they missed you, and they say, okay, you can go to this place, postal annex, they call them, and walk over there and look at how those people dress. Shorts and a t-shirt or tie-dye shirts or, ripped jeans or whatever. These people aren't professionals. These people are professional mail, envelope sorters. These people can't act professional. They're pissed off to see you walk up to the door to claim what's yours. Pathetic. Walk into a UPS store or a FedEx location. You'll see professionals in action there. You go to a post office, and unless you have a good one in your location, I happen to have one that's not bad. One of the three post offices that's near me actually is staffed by people who are actually human beings and friendly. The other two are worthless in terms of that. And the postal annex is a JOAK joke, but anyway, that's just my opinion. Let's see. Rob F says Gator Zone political causes using athletics as a platform, chance for them to get athletes emotional through social pressure. I'm sick of it. All the grabs for power. And Gator Zone agrees. And he does respect that they feel compelled to speak up, but for them to hang it on what their entire being is lunacy. Yeah. Happy to help you out, Jason. I do. I think your videos are solid. I wouldn't change a thing, but if you think you have to tweak the audio a little bit, I certainly understand. But if you want me to give you feedback on that, again, just let me know. Lexer Dexer, good afternoon, sir. I have not seen you in here before, so welcome. You may have been here before, I just don't remember. Um, let's see. Rob F says sports have always been a place for everyone. Politicization of sports is a bad thing, and ESPN is at the head of those. I agree. I mean, I don't know about the rest of you, but I always viewed sports as a way to get away from the crap, the day in and day out crap of a day in the life, etc. And it's being taken away from me, and I don't like it. I deal with, I mean, okay. Granted, at this stage of my life is a lot easier than it was. I got a good job, good pay, roof over my head, food in my belly. My kids are grown and healthy, and they've done well for themselves so far. And, the hard part of my existence is, well, I'm not saying my existence is easy, but the harder parts are past now. Now comes the part where I watch my physical body deteriorate over the next 30 years, but that's another subject. But I like escapes. And all the escapes that I used to have are being taken away. I can't watch TV anymore. It's horrible. Sports has been politicized to hell and gone. The virtue signaling makes me physically ill. Hell, the only thing that's left for me is YouTube videos, and I can pick and choose those pretty much. I don't know what to tell you anymore. It ain't the way it used to be. That's for damn sure. But I just feel terrible that a great escape for me in my life, which was always sports and entertainment, that's all gone now. I mean, hell, even the TV ads are virtue signaling now, and you can't even watch those. Luckily, I watch most of my TV now on YouTube TV for the time being, and I can at least, most of that's done on my computer, so I can minimize the ads and turn off the sound and not watch those. So it just sad to me. The whole thing is very sad to me. It really is. Okay, I know, Jason. I appreciate you stopping by. I'll see you again soon, I hope. I'll see you on your next video. Gator Zone's going to head back to work. And you're welcome for the content. Thank you for stopping by and the support, sir. I appreciate it. I will stop by your channel and check the videos out, Gator Zone. I promise. I do. So what else is going on out there? Glad that we're back to it's always funny to me that I'm primarily made my channel a watch channel, but I always seem to talk sports more on these live streams. It's so gratifying to have the big boy football back with the SEC finally started up again. I really don't care about any of the other conferences. To me, that's small ball to me, but I'm glad to see the big boys started to play last weekend. I was, looking forward to this weekend. Some really good games. Let's see. Lexer Dexer says, advice for the NFL/NBA. Zip it during games. Good suggestion, sir. I'd say zip it before, during, and after. Go protest on your own time. Players, get a YouTube channel and spout anything. Change all logos to love thy neighbor. I like that idea. Colby Ellis says, I really hope JT Daniels pulls through for the Dogs. Okay, well, I'm not a dog fan, so this doesn't really affect me until November 7th. Then it affects me. For right now, Florida had plenty of quarterback problems over the past few years. So I got no sympathy from the opposition to my Gators, so I don't have any sympathy for other teams experiencing quarterback problems. I really don't. So, um, you guys sort out your quarterback issues in your own way. That's not my issue. It only becomes my issue when your team plays mine. So, and I mean, I'm not laughing about Georgia's quarterback problems, but neither am I losing sleep over it. So, but that's just me. No, and Colby agrees with me. He wouldn't have any sympathy either. So, all right. Rob F. I have never seen so much hate in my life as I've seen past couple of years. Most of the people really don't have a real reason to hate each other. Propaganda works and is being used. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I think thanks to the a couple of factors that are going on that have sort of all met at this particular time in our lives, a deterioration in our education system, a dumbing down of our population, and a media that is more than willing to manipulate people to getting them to believe the way they want them to believe. We have created somewhat of a perfect storm of situations where we now have a lot of people that are angry with each other. And they don't even know why most of the time. Hang on a minute. My kid just texted me a picture that was kind of funny. I'll deal with that later. But we definitely seem to have created a perfect storm of lack of education, lack of critical thinking, lack of the ability to be able to talk to each other without instead of talking at each other. And now we've created an attitude in this country in a lot of people's minds where if you're not with me, you're against me. The saying we can disagree without being disagreeable really needs to make a comeback. I mean, I've seen, fortunately, it has not happened in my family. Fortunately. Because I've seen other friends of mine who have husband and wife who disagree politically, and it's putting strains on their marriages. I know one couple that I am friends with who are Biden supporters, actually. And one of the sets of grandparents is Trump supporters. I'm not sure about the other one, but one set of grandparents are Trump supporters. And they have, and we've seen stories, I've heard stories similar to this all over the place, but I have seen this. These two nice people, nothing wrong with these people, very smart people actually, they have reached an ultimatum point with the grandparents where they say they will not come around and they will not bring the grandchildren around unless they renounce Trump and stop supporting Trump, because they don't want their children, these people's grandchildren, being around Trump supporters. So this schism that's going on in the country right now is splitting families apart. I'm sure it's happening all over the place. I bet of all the people that are in here, you probably know somebody who is a Trump supporter and won't talk to a family member who's a Biden supporter, or vice versa. This has not happened in my family, even though I have one or two people in my family that, well, one is questionable. One is a Marxist, but I don't talk to her anyway for various reasons, but um, I'm grateful that this hasn't happened to my family, but it's happening out there. Friends are being busted up, families are being busted up. We've reached a point in this country where we can't talk to each other. People are afraid to put political signs on their cars or in their yards or anything because of backlash. People don't want to talk about substantive issues anymore because they don't want to lose friends. They don't want to lose family members. They don't want to lose their job. They don't want to, they don't want to be ostracized by their community. This is a bad time, folks. This is a scary time. And I don't know what's going to happen in November. I don't know what's going to happen after November. I worry about the various scenarios that could happen from November 4th onward. And I'm very afraid. I am. So that's where I stand. Well, see what happens, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, I agree with Jimmy. Letting politics divide your family is very sad. You would think blood would be thicker than anything, but in a lot of cases, it doesn't seem to be, and that is probably, pardon me, burp. That's probably the saddest thing of all. Let's see. Rob F says the conflict between Armenia and Azerbaijan could turn into something much larger. China-India land dispute isn't going away either. I think we may just be in a predestined conflict period. Well, the Armenia and Azerbaijan conflicts are ancient conflicts. I mean, these are centuries-old conflicts over more than just land. That's like the India-Pakistani conflict is ancient conflict. The Muslim-Jewish conflict, the Arab-Israel conflict is, although that's improving. Not that anybody would hear about that, about the fact that recently some peace treaties were signed between Israel and some Arab countries, but the media is suppressing that. We may be predestined for a period of conflict, Rob. I hope not. I mean, I really don't want to spend my golden years, quote unquote, in a world that's shooting at each other. I was really hoping that my children wouldn't enter their 20s in a world with various shooting wars going on. I certainly hope not. We'll see what the future brings. Rob F says it will not go well after November. Unfortunately, I think you're probably right about that. But we'll see. We'll see. I think either way, Trump wins, it doesn't go well. If Biden wins, it doesn't go well, because half the country isn't going to accept the result. More or less half. I mean, we're pretty much a 50-50 country at this point anyway. And I don't, no matter who wins in November, on November 3rd, and it may take a month for us to find out who won, half the country isn't going to accept it anyway. It's 2000 all over again on steroids. And one big fear that nobody really talks about is in 2001, a group of people decided to take advantage of what they saw as a divided country and kill 3,000 people, thinking that it would cripple us, irrevocably cripple us because we were so divided. Fortunately, they calculated wrong, but that was in 2001. Now we're 20 years, or almost 20 years later, And we're more divided now than we were then. So what happens if an exterior enemy decides they look at a December 2020, January 2021 heavily divided America and decide to launch attacks on us then as a heavily divided country? What happens then? I don't know. I don't think anything good. I don't think anything good at all. But like you said, Rob, I don't think it's going to go well. We'll see. Right, Colby, mail-in voting is going to be the talk of the town. It's gonna be a large conversation for many, many months. No, I don't listen to Michael Savage. I have in the past on occasion. I don't even know what radio station he's on in my area. I'm not really sure what radio station he's on. And he's usually on at night when the AM radio power goes down. And where I live doesn't have really only one AM radio station. I know Savage isn't on it. Those stations are out of Tampa if they're anywhere at all. And when they go into low power mode at night, it's really hard to pull them in. Nefarian's here. Thanks for stopping by, sir. If you're going to get in trouble, don't stay here too long. If you're at work, don't get in trouble. WQRL. Is that local to me? I guess it is. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Rob. Hang on, let me check that. What did you say? WQRL. WQRL. That's in Illinois. I'm not in Illinois, sir. Anyway, I'm not in Illinois, so I can't get that station. Okay, Neil, good. I hope I've been entertaining you during your lunch break. It's one reason I'm here is to try and entertain a bit. But I am going to have to go fairly soon, but not right away. But I have an errand to run, and I need to run it before the store closes because everybody closing early around here. I mean, I had to go somewhere. And it was last minute decision to go run this errand either yesterday afternoon or do it in the morning. And I didn't want to do it in the morning because I had other stuff to do today. So I left here at about 3:45 and I got to where I'm going at 4:05 to the store, and they close at 4. This store used to be open until 6. Everyone's closing early because of the Wuhan Red Death. What is the difference between closing at 4 and closing at 6? That is the dumbest thing I ever heard. Luckily, I found another store that could handle the problem. And they were open until 5:30, so I was able to deal with the problem. But what is the difference? If you close at 4, you close at 6. And you're not a food service store. Why are you closing 2 hours early? What's the point? Besides, DeSantis just lifted all the bullshit restrictions anyway. So stop it. Go back to normal, folks. Jesus, I can't wait for this to go away. I'm of the belief that after November 3rd, most of this stuff goes away anyway. So I hope. Certainly when we get a vaccine or something. And yes, I'll get the vaccine, in case you were wondering. Let's see. Nefarian says, nah, screw those people here. I'm starting my new work from home job Monday. Hey, congratulations. I work from home. I love it. My commute is from right there. That's my bed to right here, that's my desk. Well, I have a bigger house than just this room, but I mean, that's my morning commute. Right there to right here. Unless my father or my parents, I work for my parents essentially. If they need me, then I go over there. But if they don't need me and I can do what they need me to do from here, I do it from here. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Appreciate it, Neo. I do. Razorback chimes back in again. Let's see. You probably answered a million times, but I wasn't here. But what do you think about the debate? Actually, I didn't watch the debate. I saw some snippets of it earlier on a YouTube channel called Mr. Reagan, which is really a great YouTube channel if you're a conservative like I am. A lot of fun. I would definitely look him up. He does some great commentary on the conservative side of things. So definitely give Mr. Reagan a look. Anyway, he showed like an 8-minute video showing some snippets. And from there, I concluded a couple of things. It was a clown show on all sides. Chris Wallace is an asshole that should be fired by Fox immediately. And Chris Wallace lived up to his reputation as a rude, Trump-hating anti-Trumper. Or never Trumper, I should say. Biden is worthless. I mean, he's not there. You can look into Biden's eyes, and I say this with no malice. I lost my paternal grandfather to Parkinson's disease many, many, many years ago, 1983, roughly. Many, many years ago. I am still haunted by the look in my papa, he's my, as opposed to my maternal grandpa, who I call grandpa. The other one was papa. I remember as a teenager looking into my papa's eyes, and I was his only grandson. And towards the end, I looked into my papa's eyes. And this was a giant of a man, not physically, but this was a giant of a, this was a man who succeeded as a textile broker for DuPont Chemical in a time where DuPont was run by rabid anti-Semites. That's people who don't like Jews, for those of you who don't speak multisyllable. And he made a huge success for himself as a textile broker and dealer, working for a company that didn't like Jewish people. This was a brilliant, self-educated man. This was one of my heroes. Him and my father and one other guy who I won't mention because it's controversial. And I looked into that man's eyes when he was ravaged by Parkinson's, and I saw his mind destroyed. He didn't know. He just looked back at you with those eyes, and you could tell there was nothing going on in there. He was trying to remember who I was, who his son was, his only son, my father, and his wife. We were the last 3 people he remembered. And in the end, he didn't even remember his own wife of 50 years. Sorry, 40. It destroyed me. I see that same look when I see a video of Joe Biden. I say this with no malice because I feel sorry for anyone. I have great empathy for anyone who's going through Alzheimer's or dementia or Parkinson's. Those afflictions are a living hell for the family and for the person going through them. And I see that look in Biden when I look into those eyes. I can see him trying. And I see the stumbling, I see the fumbling, I see the missed synapses connections the non sequiturs, the bumbling, the stumbling, the stuttering. I've seen this before. I saw this with my papa, and it hurts. And I see that same thing in Biden, and I feel bad for the man. I feel very bad for the man. I think who's ever running him in this campaign, he should be jailed for elderly abuse. This man shouldn't be doing this. This man should be enjoying his grandchildren, if he has them, great-grandchildren, and enjoying retirement in the last years of his life. Instead, he's doing this. And he may win. He may win. I don't know what happens to the country if he wins. I don't think anything good. But that's what I see. That's what that's what I saw in those snippets. But no, I didn't watch the debate because, I don't understand the purpose of these debates. They're basically elongated press conferences. They're not going to change anybody's mind, or not a lot of people's minds. I think 85 to 90% of the electorate has already made up its mind. So these debates are essentially filler for the TV networks, and got the ability to create gotcha moments for television ads, and for the RNC and the DNC to raise money. For those few people that they haven't made up their minds yet, I don't think these debates are going to sway them. They might, but that's such a small percentage of the electorate that I think they border on pretense and useless. So I'm not going to watch these clown shows. I got better things to do in my life. I'd rather watch YouTube videos I'd rather watch Lou and BVD. I'd rather watch TGV or Frederico or Random Rob videos. Rather create my own videos. But I'm not going to watch the debates. They're pointless. Let's see. So I'm sorry, Razorback. That was a rather long answer to your question, but I felt I needed to make sure that it was fully understood that I didn't and why I didn't, and my feelings behind it. Let's see. Rob F. The U.S. Navy has a UFO task force. Thoughts? Don't care. Hey, if it keeps them employed and off the welfare rolls, fine. I'm good with that. Razorback. Okay, yeah, good. Yeah, look Mr. Reagan up. I think you'll enjoy those videos. Rob F says has similar experience with his great grandmother. God bless. Yeah. I'm sorry you had that experience. I really am. I wouldn't wish seeing a family member go through that on my worst enemy. And I mean that. Rob F says Biden is being propped up by the left. I agree with that. They just see him as their best shot at power. I agree with that. Kind of like Uncle Junior, no worse than the Uncle Junior situation. Yeah, agreed. I think at best Biden is a placeholder. He's going to be a figurehead. He might be 25th Amendmented, and we end up with President Harris. At worst, that's what we get. At best, we get Biden is the figurehead. They trot him out for speeches every once in a while and a photo op, and the power behind the throne kind of thing. Somebody else is pulling the levers. The Wizard of Oz thing. If you're old enough to remember the Wizard of Oz. I certainly am. I remember that was my kid's favorite movie that made me play that thing incessantly. Empty. Anyway, I am going to wrap my video up because I really need to get out of the house and get this errand taken care of because I'm impatient and I want my repaired watch back. I hate it when one of my watches is not in my possession. I have 3 watches out for repair now. One I can get back today. One is in a watch broker in Beverly Hills because it's a specialty watch, and nobody will work on it except a couple of places. And the other one is at another jeweler being retimed. So that should be back to me in a week or so. But I have no patience for this, so I'm going to wrap my video up. And how you doing, Ballard? You come in just as I'm about to go out. So, but I'm glad you're here. I appreciate your coming in. So I'm going to wrap. I'm going to do my usual wrapping up spiel, which is if you're watching this now or you're watching this in the future, before you leave, I'd appreciate you giving me the thumbs up. Clicking the like button or the thumbs up button definitely helps out with the algorithms, with the YouTube algorithms. The more likes I get on a video, the more likely the search engine will say, people like that channel. We will make sure that his channel pops into a search result. So thumbs up definitely are helpful. Comments, questions, suggestions down below. I like the comment section during the live stream. I read all comments. I respond to all comments. However, if you are going to be a jackass, you're going to spam me or you're going to troll me or you're going to dump idiotic links into my comment section, I'm going to block you so nobody sees you again. And I'm going to delete your comments so nobody sees the comment again. If you're new here, like I've got a few people that have not been here before, like Jim C. I think he already clicked the subscribe button, or Lex or Dexter. A couple of people I've not seen here before. Before you leave, click the subscribe button for me. I'm trying to grow the channel. I'd like to get to 2,000 subscribers before the end of 2020. And the only way I can do it is if new people come in, click the subscribe button and click the bell icon next to that. So when I upload new videos or I go live like I do every Wednesday at noon Eastern time, you will be alerted. And I do go live at other times, usually in the evenings during the week. Those are sort of random, but I do try and do at least one other during the week. You can come in and enjoy yourself. Be entertained by me and by each other in the comment section. So I appreciate you all coming in. Guys like Nefarion, Ballard, Rob F., Neo, Razorback Fan, Jim C., Colby Ellis, Lexer Dexter, my friend Design Atlier was here. If you like watch videos and you want to see well done video content, definitely find his channel and subscribe to it. My Floridian was here. My other good friend Tennessee Mike, who's also got a watch channel, I would definitely give him a subscribe to. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate your support. I really, really do. Thank you for all the thumbs ups. And hey, even thank you for that thumbs down. I appreciate that. At least you were paying attention. Anyway, y'all have a good rest of the day, and I will see you again in my next video. Enjoy your day.